you are a believing Catholic. What do you make of Pope Francis and especially his climate activism that Labor over the last 2 days has kept praising?
Look, I think the great thing about the Catholic Church is we love a debate. I'm a believer, but we love nothing more than hashing out deep theological concepts. It's the whole reason we have these big things called councils. We had a council in the Vatican, the so-called Vatican II. What was that? It's over 60 years ago now, and people still argue. The Catholics still argue among ourselves about it and its consequences more than half a century on. So, I think Pope Francis did certainly kickstart a huge debate in the Catholic Church about our position, the position we should have on certain principal doctrines, theological doctrines. And in some respects, the funny thing, the ironic thing perhaps about Pope Francis's time is there has never been a bigger blossoming of traditional Catholic principles and practices, despite Pope Francis's attempts. The Latin Mass is just absolutely flourishing. I love going to Latin Mass as so many young Catholics do. So, look, Andrew, the Lord works in mysterious ways, and maybe it took a papacy like Francis to instigate a deep thinking about what it means to be Catholic, and sometimes it's the opposition to somebody that actually generates the most interesting developments.
A Tolstoyan view of history. I should note something to viewers that the footage I'm about to show will be confronting to some. But the Pope's body is now lying in state and his funeral will be held on Saturday. And of course, you can follow a lot of that on Sky News. Now, Matt, no one can really predict who the College of Cardinals will elect as the new Pope. But looking at the people some in the media are claiming are the leading contenders, the chances are it's probably going to be someone like Francis to the left of the Church. Although it could be a radical change if the next Pope is the last man shown on that graphic. Cardinal Sarah from Guinea is a very senior conservative who has a warning for the West, unlike anything you have ever heard Francis say about illegal immigrants. Have a listen to this.
Vous savez, la plus grande inquiétude, c'est que l'Europe ne veut plus ou a perdu le sens de ses origines. Il a perdu ses racines. Or, un arbre qui n'a pas de racines, il meurt. Et j'ai peur que l'Occident meure.
Well, Cardinal Sarah is 79, and that and his conservatism may be held against him. But is that the kind of Pope that you would like to see? One that's worried about the future of Western civilization and the fact that the Europe is letting in too many foreigners who probably don't share that same view?
Well, Andrew, I don't have a vote. Obviously, I'm more focused on the election in a couple of weeks' time here in Australia. But I do love Cardinal Sarah. I followed him for a long time. Obviously, if you watched the movie Conclave, Cardinal Sarah would have no hope in that movie. But I'm not sure Hollywood really understands the inner workings of the Catholic Church. But look, I hope for someone that's salty. That's why I think the Christianity should be the salt of the earth. So, while I obviously had different views to Francis on lots of issues, he's somebody that stood for something. So that's what I want. I think the worst outcome would be a moderate Pope who, doesn't really take a position and is sort of confused and all over the shop. So, yeah, I love Cardinal Sarah, love some of the other. I've followed a lot of the others that are in the running, but I just like somebody who has a go. That's what I always like in politics and religion. And sometimes, if you disagree with them, they generate heat and light, and that helps everybody.
Well, yes, the Bible has some very harsh things to say about people who are lukewarm. Matt Canavan, no one could accuse you of that. Thank you so much indeed for your time.